don't watch cable news much anymore. I get up around 4 a.m. every morning and turn it on just to see what's going on. But I'll tell you something, it really is a disgrace on both sides, both left and right. Let me talk about Fox News, which censors what we do here at Freedom Watch. We have a lawsuit, one of the only lawsuits against Antifa, and it was filed many, many months ago. It was dismissed by a judge who went to Berkeley, taught law school at Berkeley, Claudia Wilkins. It's for a very fine gay woman by the name of Kiara Robles, who went to a speech at Berkeley that was going to be given by Mayo Yiannopoulos. And she was assaulted, she was pepper sprayed, she was attacked. Virtually the entire campus was burned down at the time. Berkeley police stood around doing nothing, watching what was going on. I'm not just talking about the university police, but the police department of the city of Berkeley. And we brought a lawsuit, not just against Antifa, but we brought a lawsuit against the University of California at Berkeley and also its president. So this is what happened, is that the judge, obviously very biased, very prejudiced, wound up dismissing the lawsuit. It's a long story, and I want you to read about it by going to freedomwatchusa.org. But we have an appeal of that dismissal. And in fact, this Monday, just in a few days, we're going to have argument before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, I'm confident that even the Ninth Circuit's going to overturn the lower court judgment. That's how bad it was, so biased it was, and legally insufficient. Now, you would think with Fox News covering all this stuff about the riots and the looting and the mayhem and police being killed and harmed, that they would even mention that lawsuit, but they don't. It's not all the news that's fit to print. And I've had issues with Fox News going all the way back many, many years when my clients, some of them were the women that Clinton had abused or had affairs with and they wrote about, were defamed on Fox News. And I've had issues with Roger Ailes at the time. And of course, Ailes himself was a major sexual predator, particularly with regard to my client, Laurie Loon. And she was the one that was in the TV miniseries Loudest Voice on Showtime, showing how she had been sexually abused. Well, I have a lawsuit against Fox and Suzanne Scott because she's now the CEO of Fox News. And she was made CEO after Ailes resigned because obviously being a woman, it was helpful to have somebody in that role. The Murdochs put her in there, but she also knew what was going on with Ailes. In fact, she facilitated his sexual misconduct. She actually used her own credit card to get hotel rooms for Ailes so he could work his sexual abuse on Laurie Loon and perhaps others. So she is subject to a defamation case because she denied this, which in fact defamed Laurie Loon because she was out there. She was subject to a lot of media that had been brought to bear with regard to what was going on at Fox. It humiliated her. Laurie Loon has tried to commit suicide twice. She's got severe PTSD for the public shaming and humiliation. And this is Fox News. I want you to know about it. Now, it's also interesting that, the Bundy case, which just came up, Sean Hannity ran away from Cliven Bundy. He wouldn't put him on anymore after he made one statement that his family was being treated like the Negro in the Old South. I mean, this is what you have on Fox News. And also, I might add, I'm in court today for Judge Roy Moore in Alabama, who was falsely accused of being a sexual predator and soliciting sex at a mall and being banned from the mall in Etowah County and Gladstone Mall. And that's another one. Hannity and Fox News ran away from him. They don't stand up for people who believe in anything because they're afraid of their shadow. They are moving left. They're being run by the Murdoch sons. They're both leftists, and this is what you get. So this is why I keep telling people, turn off Fox News, turn off the other cables, and join Freedom Watch. And look at just in the last few days, you see all these riots. You don't have charts on Fox News anymore or any of the other cables about people dying second by second. They're not even talking about coronavirus. The reason that they pumped that up to get people really scared was to boost their ratings and advertising dollars. These cable networks, put simply, are a bunch of whores. And I wrote about that in my first book, Whores, Why and How I Came to Fight the establishment. I've been writing about it ever since. And this points out why you have to support Freedom Watch and what I'm doing. Well, you don't have to, but I ask that you do it, because you have to take matters into your own legal and peaceful hands. Don't be entertained by what's on Fox News and the other cable networks. Just get out there and do what needs to be done. Our country is being destroyed as we speak, not just by these vigilantes and these domestic terrorists like Antifa, but by the communist Chinese with regard to COVID-19 and the damage that it's done health-wise and to our economy, severe damage. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Join our Justice League. Support us with tax-deductible contributions. We need to get bigger. We have class action lawsuits in Dallas, Texas, and Jerusalem, Israel, criminal complaint against the communist Chinese in The Hague, Holland. And we have all of our other cases that we're handling right now. Go and see what it is we're doing. Sign up for our free newsletters and join our Justice League. Just don't sit on a couch and be entertained. Turn Hannity off. In fact, just a few days ago, it was revealed that Hannity was divorced a year ago and had a so-called agreement with his wife for 4 years. You know, I have no problem if people can't get along. I've been divorced myself, but to hide that for 5 years, I mean, you have to ask yourself what was going on for somebody who claims to be the perfect family man, the perfect Christian, the perfect person. This is why you can't understand fully what goes on unless you listen to this show and listen to the truth on Radio America. You need to do it for yourselves. You need to rise up. You can't look to these people like they're somehow gods of wisdom. They're not. They're out there just to make money, to jingle the change, to scare you, to boost advertising dollars, and that's really about it. That's my message for today. Stay safe. Pray that this country will survive. We will, with God's grace, as we did in the days leading up to 1776 and thereafter. But we have a big job to do because our country is collapsing as we speak. And these very leftist Democrats and the cable news networks are certainly making the situation worse. God bless you. God bless your family. God save America, and share this podcast. You can find it on freedomwatchusa.org, on Spotify, on iTunes, on Roku, on Amazon Fire, on Facebook, on Twitter. Get it out there far and wide, and join Freedom Watch's Justice League and sign up for our class actions against the communist Chinese. See if you qualify as a plaintiff. Go to freedomwatchusa.org and also contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. I'll be back Monday with another podcast, and listen to our weekend show, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. You can find it in the same places. It's also broadcast on 50 stations. I'm going to have Judy Malvitz, who worked with Dr. Anthony Fauci, who knows all about the bioweapon in China and the nefarious deeds of Fauci, what he has done to himself profit from these pandemics. I'll be back next week. Thank you for listening to me.